Oh, I just hit a really nice shot. That was actually really sick. So I think it's kind of safe to say I'm pretty addicted to Deadlock. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but I think the main one is how dynamic the overall game is on so many different levels. And if you're not familiar with it, it's very much a MOBA game with some hero shooter elements mixed in. Right here, I'm just in kind of what's the laning phase. And this whole video is just from one game, one recent game I had. A couple highlights and lowlights mixed in. I'll go over both. And I'm very, very new. I'm what's Initiate rank. I believe I'm Initiate 2 right now, which is about as low as you can possibly be ranked. So everyone down here is kind of just learning the game and struggling together. But what's happening here is there's kind of a 2v2 going on in our lane. And this is going to make sense for people that are familiar with MOBAs. But we're basically just trying to push into that big tower guardian guy and destroy that before the enemy team can destroy ours. And the first few minutes of every game are going to be like that. It's split up into like 2v2 on all three of the lanes. And as the game progresses, it turns into much more of a team fight. Here we have a really good push on the lane, and we end up killing their guardian. I extend a little bit further to finish off their heroes, trying to get this Billy Goat character, but wasn't able to finish him. He retreated back to his walker, which is an even bigger tower. Once you destroy the walker, then your little minions that spawn can push into the enemy base, and that's how you win the game. There's a couple things you have to do inside the enemy base to win. But here, just a good example. Here, I get absolutely cooked here, actually. I'm just kind of fumbling with my controls. I tried to gank these characters. There's Rem is the little blue guy, and then the purple lady is Calico, cat lady. She can turn into a cat. That's why she's Calico. And I really should have gotten that kill there. A little bit of a better Paradox would have easily gotten that kill. I was just kind of fumbling with my controls. Here's a cool example of some of the movement that you can do in the game, and every single character can do that kind of movement, where they can do the wall jumps, the dashes, the double jumps, and a lot more. There's a huge skill gap just to the movement in this game. And any character can kind of like break the ankles of any other character if they're piloted well enough. And what I'm doing here, kind of my job after the laning phase as Paradox, at least as far as I understand it, is kind of to start roaming the map looking for individual picks. I'm kind of an assassin character. And I'm trying to do that, and I get absolutely crushed here. And I shouldn't. All right, a good Paradox should smoke this Graves is the character. But I was, again, fumbling with my controls. I swapped 2 of my abilities in this game, so this is my first game. So I was having to spend some extra time thinking about my abilities. But a little bit later here, I do get some revenge on this little blue rat. His name is Rem. He's another new character. And he can just, I guess, possess some of the minions and heal a bunch. I don't know if there's something else going on there, but look how much health he has back just from jumping into those minions. And this is basically my ult. That's where I swap positions with him. And I have that wall I can place down, and any good Paradox is going to have a whole combo they can do, where they throw a grenade that deals a bunch of damage over time, and then you put that wall that you force the enemy to go through when you do your ult, and it can almost nuke a whole character. There are also other little side objectives that spawn throughout the game, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm running the urn, which is kind of like capture the flag. You have to pick it up from one side of the map and then run it all the way to drop it on the other side of the map. And if you do, then you get your team a bunch of XP or souls, which can really swing a game in your favor. Got it. So I dropped it there successfully. A lot of players at this elo or rank don't generally go for them. Watch this shot here. I was super proud of this. This Graves I was trying to hunt, and she's trying to run away on the zip line, and bang. If you get shot while you're on one of those zip lines, you take a bunch of extra damage. So I think that's why it killed her. Usually that single shot ability doesn't do all that much damage. The main utility of it is kind of if you hit someone with it, it freezes them for like a second, which allows you to line up your full ult combo. Here I'm just kind of roaming again, looking for ganks. I'm also not familiar with Wraith, who that's the hero I'm shooting right now. She can kind of teleport. But I do get her. And there's the blue rat again. I lost him in the moment here. But just going for ganks. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. Roam the map, look for little objectives. I can run the urn. If there's some hero that's alone, I can help pick him off. The other thing that is really, really important that a lot of players, it's really frustrating actually, because I'm trying to like force myself to do it. But
Stupid route, it's so annoying.
a lot of players don't do it, is there's a mid-boss that spawns at, I believe it's 10 minutes, and usually around like 15 minutes or later, you want to be looking for any opportunity that you can do to take it. Because if you kill the mid-boss and then you hit a little crystal that drops down, it gives your team basically 3 extra lives. So if they die, they just spawn immediately back where they were with, I think, full health or a lot of health. But it's huge, and it's basically how a game finishes. So I'm trying to get people on the team to go do it right now. Since we just kind of won a little bit of a team fight and we have an advantage, now would be a great time to do it.
I don't think anyone's
But no one really listens. I try to ping it. What I need to be doing is just opening up my mic and telling people what to do. And hopefully I can get some more people to help us. Because usually like 1 or 2 people aren't enough to take the mid-boss. So here I just kind of decide, let's just... I notice their Graves is trying to run the urn themselves, so I'll just go shut that down. And me and a friend here can go get this gank on her. Doing that little combo, the wall. Phase her through that wall. She takes a bunch of damage. It slows her and silences her. And she dies. So that's kind of what Paradox wants to be doing, at least at a high level. I'm really, really terrible at her right now, but it's practice. This game has so much depth. It's probably one of the deepest games I've ever seen, which is one of the reasons why it's so attractive to me. There's so many different little things that you can be working on. Decision making, map awareness. Here, this little crystal that I'm jumping on. It's another thing that people at this elo just aren't aware of. Every, I believe, 5 minutes, they spawn up on those little bridges, and they give you a huge permanent buff to your character for the rest of the game. And so often at this rank, they're just available and sitting there, so you can kind of just take them for free. So I'm just trying to get into the habit of picking them up whenever I can. Ideally, I can, like every 5 minutes, once that 5-minute timer hits, I would just take it. Here, we're kind of towards the mid-game where we're trying to make a final push into the enemy's base. I did hear someone farming nearby, and that's where I was looking for this billy goat. If I can secure this kill, that'd be huge, because he can't... he'll then be in the respawn timer for a long time and can't help defend the base. So I just run him down, and now here I go entering the enemy base, which... There's ultimately like a patron. That's the main thing we want to destroy. If we destroy that, we win. That yellow ball in the middle, that's the patron that we want to destroy. And if there are enemies or allies to the patron in that little pit, then it can block the damage. So we can't just focus it down, and we have to deal with the players that are in the pit defending it. So if there's only one, then it only mitigates some of the damage. If there's more than, or 2 or more, it completely blocks the damage to it. But we're kind of just overwhelming them at this point, so it's only a matter of time. I take a lot of damage here, so I end up just trying to fall back and play my life a little bit so I can stay involved and still be a threat for the end game. I don't think it would have mattered all that much anyway, but there we go. We do get the win. And I did pretty good. This is probably one of the first games where the role that Paradox is trying to do is kind of clicking with me, where I'm just looking for picks from that mid-game on. I ended up with 20 kills and a lot of objective damage, so I will take that. You might be seeing a little bit more gameplay on this channel as I continue to learn the game. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys do too, and have a great rest of the day. Thanks.